These are our Chapter 15 notes. I'll probably do them like the last ones where you can just pause as you need to get everything written down. So in Chapter 15, we are looking at our financial statements for corporations. And so starting with 15-1, what is a financial statement? It provides the primary source of information that's going to be needed by our owners as well as our managers to make decisions on any future business activity. So then our financial statements should provide information about a business's financial condition, changes in this financial condition, as well as the progress of operations. And so when we are doing all of those things, it is known as adequate disclosure. So a lot of these financial statements we've done before, and they're just going to be a little bit different now since we are dealing with corporations. So we're going to start by looking at our income statement, and it is used to report a business's financial progress. So in our income statement for a merchandising business, it's going to have three main sections. We're going to show what our revenue is, we'll show what our cost of merchandise sold was, as well as our expenses. So as far as our revenue section is concerned, we have three amounts we need to put in from there. So that's going to be our sales discount, and our sales returns. And then after we have found those three numbers, we will be calculating our net sales. So our simple formula for that will be taking our total sales, subtract the sales discount, subtract the sales returns, and get your net sales. Okay, so then our cost of merchandise sold. This section is going to start with the original price of all of the merchandise that we sold during that fiscal period. And so we'll first get our beginning merchandise inventory, and this is going to be obtained from our trial balance debit column. So think we're going back to our worksheet to be pulling these numbers. So for this, we're going to look in trial balance and find our merchandise inventory. Then the next thing that will go in here will be purchases, purchase discount, and purchase returns and allowances. These numbers we will be getting from the income statement columns. And then the last number we have to pull over is our merchandise inventory as of December 31st. So this amount we will find in our balance sheet debit column. So then we will calculate what is known as our gross profit on sales. And to do that, we'll take our remaining revenue after the cost of merchandise sold has been deducted. Then we also need to calculate our net income. So we're going to take simply our gross profit on sales minus our total expenses. So remember with expenses, we just look on the worksheet and list them all out. And then that will get us our net income. So if an expense is 0, that we're going to skip over. We don't need to list it. Then we're going to write down our federal income tax expense. And this number is going to be found in our income statement debit column, clear down at the bottom. And so that's the main parts of the income statement. Then if you remember, there's that little tiny column over on the right side. So that last thing we have to do is calculate our component percentages. So we have 4 of them. We have our cost of merchandise sold, our gross profit on sales, total expenses, and then our net income before federal income tax. And so as you'll see as we do the work together, our net sales amount will be 100%, and then we're taking all other amounts, so those other 4, divided by whatever we have for net sales. and you'll round to just one decimal place for it. And that's the very last thing you do when completing the income statement.